Welcome to a training demo of the Mass Edit feature in PayPak Professional 4.0. This feature allows you to make changes to the entries in an unposted batch. It makes them very quickly. You can change multiple entries, and it's very quick, very useful in cases where you have a large number of employees or a large number of entries in a particular batch. So let's get started. Let's log in and show you how it works. Okay, first we go to the edit batch screen. I have a batch here which has 15 entries in it. Edit this, and we've got our edit batch screen. There are times when you may wish to change information on this summary tab, such as the earning date, the payment method, the branch, the account type, maybe even sometimes also the category or the department to which employees in this batch are assigned. Now you can change them individually from this summary grid, but you can also change multiple entries at the same time very quickly using the Mass Edit button, which is here at the bottom of the screen. Sometimes you may want to change it for a few employees. Let's say Erica Hill, Santa Keith, Jack Redmond, and Mark Taylor. Right. So I've selected 4 employees. See the 4 here. And if I click on the Mass Edit button, the default is to change the selected entries, which means that the changes I make here will affect just those 4 employees who are selected. Alternatively, I can click here and say change all entries, in which case all 15 entries will be modified. Now, the fields which I can change are the edit date, the reference, the payment method, the branch, the account type, the category, and the department. People often need to change the earning date, so let's do that. We take the earning date here. There's a list which at the top of the list it always says all, which means you can change all the earning dates in this batch, even if there's more than one set of earning dates. Underneath it you'll see a unique listing of the earning dates. In this case they're all say the 30th of December, so you only see the 30th of December listed once. And it would work something like this. I could click on either one, and I come over to the change to, and there's my calendar, and I could change that from the 30th, what was it again? It was the 30th of December, sorry, right. So let's say I wanted to make that the 31st of December. I could come back and make that 31st of December 2021. If I wanted to change the payment method at the same time, these are all deposit. I could change it from deposit to anything else. Let's look at the account type. Some are checking and some are savings. If I want to change the check-ins ones, I could change that, change all of them to current. If I wanted to change the savings, I could likewise change all of them to checking or to anything else. I could change both the checking and the savings by clicking on all, and if I did that, they would all change to current. Now once you've changed them, you can't automatically change them back, so you have to be very careful with what you're doing. Make sure you select exactly what you want to do. For the category, I've got a list of categories here. We've got cooks, delivery, sales. So I could change them all to a particular category. And I believe there's just one department here, right? I'm just going to change for now the earning date. And it's very simple. You click apply, and voila, they've all changed here to the 31st of December because I chose all. Now, if I want to change them back, suppose I was supposed to change only the selected ones. I could come here and now I could change them very easily by inverting the 4 that were selected. Do that first. Then I say mass edit. Go back to my earning date. So now, because I've inverted it, I've selected the 11 who were inadvertently changed, and I'm leaving alone the 4. So we come here, that's the date, and we set it back to the 30th of December 2020. I apply it, and there you go. We now have 2 earning dates. These are the 30th. This is the 31st. And at the bottom under here, if you've got this hide secondary summaries turned off, you'll be able to see this grid, which gives you a summary by earning date. So we've got 11 entries for the 30th of December and 4 entries for the 31st of December. I can easily change them back to the original setting. I could manually change them, or I could just change all. I can just click mass edit, change all entries, earning date. Now you see the 2 dates are here. I could pick the 31st because that's the one I want to change, or I could just say all if I want to be lazy, and 30th of December 2020 and apply. Right. And that's a very quick way of making the change to the batch entries. Let's say I wanted to change the payment method. Again, I'll just turn these off. Mass edit, payment method from deposit to maybe cash, and all entries, and apply. And there they are, they're all cash. Quickly change them back, change all entries, payment method, all, deposit, and apply. And they've gone back to deposit. Now that's a quick and easy fix. Very useful tool if you have multiple entries. Like some payrolls have hundreds, some is over 1,000 entries, and it's much quicker to make your changes through the mass edit than it is to change the records individually. Even if you have to select 4, 5, 6 employees, it's time. Time is money. Now, if we delve a little deeper into the mass edit, you'll find that it's a much more powerful tool than just changing the entry information. If I click here, you'll notice these 3 buttons here. There's gross pay, deductions, and taxes. And these are some of the power features of the mass edit. Let's start by looking at the gross pay. So we click here on gross pay, and this is the mass edit gross pay screen. Now, it works in 2 sorts of ways. You've got, just move this across a little bit. You've got the grid, and this is your main point. This is a grid of the gross pay. where you can come and change. And this gross pay is the bonus because the particular pay rates are listed here. All of the pay rates in the batch are listed here. And you click on the ones that you want. So if I want to look at regular pay, I click on regular, and these are the entries for regular pay. This person has 40 hours, this one has 38, this has 40. So I could select regular and just come here and change that very easily. It could also be that the batch isn't edited yet and there's no totals in there. These would all be 0, and then I could come through here and I can put 40 hours for everyone and just key it in, whatever I want. So this is a way of manually editing the entries for a person. So I could come here, I can make this 36, I can make this 37.5, I can make this 38, I can carry this up to 40, etc. This is manually making the changes. I can also come over here, and if I'm allowed to, I can change the rate to $10. Okay, so any of the fields over here I can edit, I can change, I can put a reference in. To make a note of that. I can change the type from standard pay to benefit to service charge. I can set the job type, and I can override the benefit account if I so wanted to do that. That would only happen if this was a benefit. This would have to be a benefit, and then I can override the benefit account. But if it's not a benefit, just set it back to standard pay. Good. Now, this is all well and good. If I had vacation, I can come in here and I can give this person maybe 8. These are like hourly rates. 8. That's a day. That's you get 2 days, so it'll give you 16 hours, etc. Very quick and easy. 8, 8, 8. Okay, so that's where you enter the gross pay. And as you select each pay rate, you'll see the caption. Look at the top here. I clicked on triple time, it says triple time there. And I get a count of the number of entries. Now that's the manual row by row editing. At the top of the screen here, you've got some options where you can make multiple changes. Let's say that we wanted to give everyone, there's an option for bonus here, we want to give everyone a $100 bonus. I don't have to click here and put a quantity. Maybe the quantity will be 1 and the rate would be 100. I could come here. First of all, I go down to the bottom. I say select all, or I can manually select the ones who I wish to give the bonus to. Then I turn on my quantity. I'll set that to 1 in this case. The rate, I'll set that to 100. I can put a note if I want to a reference. Bonus. And let's just hit update. And there you go. Everyone gets $100. And that's a total of $1,500. 15 people, $100. It's in very quickly. And as I said before, I can make changes to all of them or some of them, or I can turn off someone and make an individual change. I come in here. If this person got 150, I can edit the few who are different. Use this feature to change the selected ones for mass editing, and then you can go back and individually touch up the ones who may be a little different. If this person worked for 90, I could change that there. Now, at the bottom right of the screen, you've got a show hide grid, and what that does is this can turn on or off selected columns for you. You don't have to show all these columns. It can be a bit of a clutter sometimes if you're seeing more than you need to see. Sometimes you need to see more, sometimes you need to see less. So if you didn't want to see, for example, the employee number, because this cell, this column is blank. I would turn off the number here and the column disappears. If I don't need to see the employee ID, I could turn that off too. If I don't want to see the date, I could turn that off. If I don't want to see the earning date, I could turn that off too. I don't want to see the payment, the entry, the line, or the reference, type, job type, and these benefit options. So I can minimize it and make it as compact as what you're seeing here, which might be easier for reading or editing or whatever purpose. If I do want to see other information, if I want to see what day it was and the earning date, I can easily turn them on. At the bottom of the screen, there's a settings button, which if you click it, it will save these settings so that next time you come, these are turned on or off automatically. Also, I'll just turn everything back on. The grid at the top of the screen, the bonus grid, the main grid, these columns are sortable. You can click on the column headers to sort a column. You can click them by rate, you can click them by total, you can sort them by type, any way you wish. It's entirely up to you. All for the purpose of making the editing easier. Okay, so that's the gross pay screen. Now what will happen is, when you exit the screen, it returns you to the main mass edit window, and the changes are made when you exit here. When you exit here, it goes through and it makes those changes for you, and it asks if you want to recalculate the batch. I'll say yes, and voila, my batch is recalculated. And if I click on the pay rate totals, you'll now see that we've got a bonus total in there, and these are the totals for the people who get the bonus. If I click on regular, these are the totals for the regular. If I click on vacation, these are the ones who are getting vacation for the hours that we keyed in before. Much faster than having to do it manually. Okay, now let's look at the mass edit for deductions, because remember there are three power tools: the gross pay, the deductions, and the taxes. Click on deductions, and what you get is a very similar screen to the gross pay mass edit, the mass edit for gross pay which we saw before. At the top it has a list of the options for the selected entries. There's a list of the deduction branches, and if you click on some deductions may not have, some branches may not have deductions. This one has two, one for Santa Keith and one for Mark Taylor. Let's try Sagicor. Right, and here you've got a list, 11 employees, 11 deductions for these employees, and it works very much like the gross pay works. You've got your select option, there's the all, none, and invert, just like before. You can change the settings for a particular entry. You can make changes individually. You can make group settings. So if, for example, this $40 in this particular case, let's just change this back to what that was before, to an amount. Let's say you want to change the $40 to $50 for all of these entries. And I believe these have an employer portion as well. Right, and the employer portion is $80. Let's say we want to change this so that the employee amount goes from 40 to 50. I just take the employee rate, I make that 50. Then I come here, I take employer rate, and let's say the 80 goes, let's say that goes down to 70. So we're going to reduce that by $10. And that's it. Voila, you just click on the update button. We've got them all selected, 11 of 11, and update, and there you go. The change is made. This was 40. This was 80. I can likewise turn off the columns that we don't want to see. I don't want to see the date or the earning date. I can do that. I can hide the payment, the entry, the line. Pretty much compact it down just like we did before with the gross pay display. I can check to see if there have been deductions for a particular branch very quickly. And I could turn these back on again. I will turn everything back on. And there you go. I'll update this. Oops, I have to turn on my select. Oh. Okay, that was updated already. I thought I'd lost my $50 and my $70 there. Okay, so I exit now. And again, when we close the screen, it recalculates the batch and those deductions are there. I could have also done a mass edit for the gross pay, do a mass edit for the deductions, and just exit once, and it will process both at the same time. So my deductions are now in here. Let's go to someone who has... Right, there's a person with the $50 for Sagicor, $50 for the employer, and $70 for the employee. Same thing here. Okay, the final part of the mass edit is for taxes. Now you'll notice this is not an editing, it has a red X because that is to remove taxes. If you want to remove, if you have prepared a batch and it's got a particular tax applied across the entire batch, you can remove that batch. This batch has Fortress Pension, which is a pension deduction set up as a tax. And if I wanted to, I could remove that from all the employees or selected ones very easily. If I say all, it would remove that pension deduction. If I say income tax, I can remove the income tax. There's also a checkbox here to indicate whether it's a fixed tax entry or not. So I could sort this and remove any fixed taxes that were in the batch. It shows you the tax category, and again you can sort the columns, so I can look and see here who's at 400 weekly, who's at 250 weekly. And it's very simple. Pick the one you want, select them, and when you hit the remove button, the taxes for that particular tax, the entries for that, but the deductions for that particular tax will be removed. I will opt not to use it in this instance because I need to keep those figures in this batch for my reports. But you can see how it works. You can sort the columns, and that's it. So let's exit from here, close again. It always recalculates after you've done an entry, and that's it. The mass edit feature of PayPak Professional 4.0. Thank you very much and look forward to the next demo. Bye-bye.